Two types of interest. One is literally simple and the other one is pretty complicated. So they're both a formula. If you can use a formula, this is very easy. The simple interest formula is I equals P R T. We've talked about this, yes?
Yeah.
I is interest. And remember, interest is money earned or money owed. So if you borrow money, you have to pay more money. If you invest money, you get money back. P is principal. Principal. This is money in or money out. So if you borrowed money, this is how much money you borrowed. If you invested money, this is how much money you put in. R is the rate as a decimal. It's the percent as a decimal. And T is, anybody remember? Time. In what unit? Years. Thank you. Time in years. Very important. So that's simple. It's easy. Compound. This one is where things get weird. Compound interest formula is A equals P parentheses 1 plus R close parentheses to the T. Compound interest means they're going to calculate your interest multiple times. This is kind of how credit cards work. Like you spend money on a credit card and then you make a payment, okay, then they calculate interest. Okay, you make a payment, they recalculate interest. You make a payment, they recalculate the interest. So your account is always kind of, it goes up and then down and then up and then down and up. Even if you're not paying any money, it'll go up, you pay a little bit, and then it goes up a little bit. You pay a little bit, it goes up a little bit. You pay a little bit, it goes up a little bit. They calculate, there's people who get paid to make sure that your account stays right there because they don't want you to pay off your account. If you pay off your account, they stop making money off of you. So they want you to always make payments. You could make, I had a credit card, the minimum payment was $20. I paid $20 a month for 5 years and I never paid off that credit card. But it was only $20. I didn't have $1,000, so I used a credit card. But then I paid $20 a month for years, and it never went down. And it was just always there. And it would go down like a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. It was annoying. Don't use credit cards. Unless you plan on, we use a credit card now, and we pay off the balance every week because we get points. And so we get free stuff. All right, A, we're gonna skip that. P is principal again. Same thing. This is how much money I'm going to borrow or spend. Principal. The 1 plus R. The R is the percent, again, as a decimal. T is still time in years. But that exponent, when you use an exponent, you're going to have to multiply by itself that many times. Yes? We understand exponents?
Yes.
So if it's to the 6th year, then you have to do this times itself 6 times. So this is 0.02, 2%, 0.02. So it's 1.02 So it's 1.02 times 1.02 times 1.02 times 1.02 times 1.02 times 1.02. Then times principal. Yes?
Where'd you get the 6 from though?
I was making it up. If it was 6 years.
So would it give you how many numbers?
Yeah, it tells you what to plug in. And this A is all the money. That's principal plus interest. So the A is principal and interest. Now, let's do an example. We'll do an example. Simple interest we've done, so we're just going to focus on compound. If I told you that the principal was 125, the rate was 4, and I'll be nice, time can be 2. If you can use a formula, you just work it out. So it tells me principal, so that's 125. So principal is 125. Then 1 plus, what's the rate?
4.
So what's the rate as a decimal?
40.
0.04.
Yeah, 0.04.
Yeah.
Close the parentheses, and then time is 2, so squared. Then I PEMDAS. You have to PEMDAS, GEMDAS, grouping symbols first, parentheses, then exponents, then multiply. So it's parentheses,
So it's 17 times 125.
exponents, then multiply. So 1.04, because 1 plus 1, or 1 plus 0.04 is 1.04 squared times 125. Now I have to do 1.04 times 1.04. That's 16. 1, 4, 0, 0, 0, 0. So I'm just gonna skip it and put 2 zeros here. Is that gonna freak anybody out? Because that line is just zeros. And then this would be 4, 0, 1.
It's confusing.
So you do it your way. I just don't want to write all the zeros. Okay, so if I did it this way, it would be 4, 1, 6, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 4, 0, 1.
No, I'm talking about, no, how you got that 1.4 times 1.4?
Because 1.04 to the second power,
Oh.
you times it by itself 2 times.
Wait, is it always gonna be 1?
This one is always 1, yeah. Because remember how we talked about you can multiply by the, so if you pay 100% of the price and then you add 8% tax, it's 1.08.
Yes.
That's what this is, 1.04. So this comes out to 61801. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1.0816 times 125. I know. So I learned a trick, although I've never done it. If you turn your paper sideways, it helps you line up your numbers. Has anybody done that? 1,
Oh, yeah, I always do that.
0, 8. Yeah, it takes up a lot of space. And 125 times, that's 30, 8, 40, yes. That's what I was saying. 4, 5, 0, 12, 3, 16, 1, 2, 0, 0, 6, 1, 8, 0, 1. 0, 10, 10, oh magic, 12, wait, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 31,
135.2.
2, 3, 4. Whew. So now that you've done the formula, you just plug it in, it's just work. It's work. You get to the end. What is this number? Is that interest?
No, it's the A.
What is A?
All the money.
Which is what?
Interest.
Interest and
For principal.
principal. So what if the question said, okay, so how much interest was there? How would you figure that out if you had this?
What? Have what?
If I'm asking like, okay, what's the interest?
You have P plus I. What I?
This is P plus I.
So it'll be 135
Then the answer will
and
be
20
that.
cents.
No.
100
This equals the
Okay.
principal plus the interest.
Oh, you
I
divide
only want interest.
Oh, you divide by 2.
Why we divide by 2?
'cause
How much money did I put in?
135.
Look at the top. What money did I put in? Principal.
Oh, 125.
And then at the end of 2 years, I have 135.20.
Yes. Oh, do you?
What did they add to it?
Oh, so you subtract
Yeah.
the total amount from the principal.
Yeah.
Oh, they have $50.20.
No, $10.
You
Oh, yeah.
subtract these two.
$10.20.
There you go. So over 2 years, I earned $10.20. All that work to figure out $10.20. Now there's another way to do compound interest that's a little different. And we're not gonna write it down. I'm just gonna show you my notes from last year. This is the table. And if you don't like formulas, the table might be your friend. You start with your principal times the interest rate tells you interest. So times the 0.05 tells you how much money you get back. You add this to this, and you get this number. Year 2, that number comes down. Multiply it by the interest rate, get interest, add the interest back to what you had at the beginning of that year, you get a new number. That number comes down. Multiply by the interest rate, figure out interest, add it to what you had, new number. That number comes down. So you could do this instead of multiplying 1.05 4 times. Because since it's 4 years, you would do 1.05 times 1.05 times 1.05 times 1.05. And then times 450. And that would tell you the answer. So you have 2 options. If you like the table works. If you like the formula, it's much more precise, but it's up to you. Got it? All right. So the other part that we're talking about